Yeah, there's a great quote that I'm paraphrasing slightly from President Roosevelt, and Oprah did a similar version of this quote, and it is, people don't care how much you know, they care how much you care. And I love that concept. And to me, when we get that right, you get it right in your family interactions, with your friends and neighbors, you get it right with your customers, it just great things happen. So we're excited about the topic and looking forward to exploring it with other companies.
Welcome to the Talk Chamber, a production of the Greater Memphis Chamber. The Talk Chamber is the podcast for the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. This mic is powered by OrthoSouth, world-class orthopedic care across the Mid-South. Today's episode features Kim Jenkins, the CEO of OrthoSouth, and Melissa Kandel, the Director of Marketing at OrthoSouth as well. Kim, Melissa, I'm so glad to have y'all on here.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you. I am really excited to have y'all sit down today and discuss OrthoSouth, but also something that's coming up next. Do one of y'all want to take it, or do y'all want me to announce what we're going to do?
Go right ahead.
So we are going to be doing a series focused on customer service, and we are kicking it off with OrthoSouth. They'll be back here once a month to just share with us. We really want to highlight Memphis businesses who are doing the good stuff, doing the hospitality and the customer service the way it should be done. A lot of businesses nationwide are known for things like customer service. And Kim, you said it off air, Memphis needs to be known for that. We have so many great businesses who have high standards of hospitality and service. And so this is one step towards everyone across the country knowing Memphis is hospitality, Memphis is service.
Listen, we're really excited about this topic, and Melissa and I have been working together for actually a very long time, 7 years at OrthoSouth.
Yep.
And we're really, at OrthoSouth, we're super passionate about customer service. And as we were talking about the idea behind this series, as you just said, we just think there's something really magical about marrying customer service in Memphis, Tennessee, right? So Memphis, we're a very friendly city. I was doing a little research on this. Back a couple of years ago, U.S. News and World Report did a story on how friendly Memphis was. And then before that, there was a travel and leisure story about how friendly it's in our DNA. We are friendly people. We're empathetic people. We're caring people. And when you combine that, you kind of marry that, you move that over to this thing called customer service, and great things happen. So when you think about a company like Chick-fil-A customer service, everybody knows what it is. You just mention the name Chick-fil-A, everybody knows it's great service. Ritz-Carlton, great service. And so our thought with this little series that we want to do is to bring folks on, Memphis business leaders, organizational leaders, people from schools and churches and whatnot, and say, what are you guys doing? What's your secret sauce for great customer service? And if we get it right, when we get it right, and really all are rowing in the same direction, we could have something that would be like Memphis service. So it'd be like when you hear the word Chick-fil-A, you think great service. You hear the word Memphis, you think great service. So that's the idea.
I love that. I know living here, majority of my life I've had so many great experiences with Memphians and their businesses because they have such great service. I mean, you walk into that small business and that boutique or whatever it is, and the owner is sitting there at the cash register and saying, hey, welcome in, how can I help you? And now you have started to build this relationship with them. Do they know you? Have y'all met before? No, but it's that idea behind being relational and creating a bond, a friendship with somebody. That's to me one of the things that really makes customer service great is the person who can connect with you.
Yeah, there's a great quote that I'm paraphrasing slightly from President Roosevelt, and Oprah did a similar version of this quote, and it is, people don't care how much you know, they care how much you care. And I love that concept, and to me, when we get that right, you get it right in your family interactions, with your friends and neighbors, you get it right with your customers, it just, great things happen. So so we're excited about the topic.
Definitely.
And looking forward to exploring it with other companies.
I know, I have in my mind a list of so many great companies that would be awesome to talk about the service that they do and how they help customers. But one industry in particular that is an interesting concept when it comes to customer service is the healthcare industry. I always think that's interesting because I know I have friends who are in med school and doing that. Something that they learn and talk about often is bedside manner, talking to the patients in a way that is hospitable and caring and understanding. And really what that boils down to is customer service.
Well, you know what's interesting, Taylor Ann, is that to be just honest and direct, the healthcare industry, the healthcare services industry is not known for its customer service, you know? So if the three of us decided that we wanted to go have dinner and we walked to one of the great restaurants here downtown and they said, oh, great, yeah, this is fantastic. We're thrilled that you're here. We can seat you in somewhere between the next 5 minutes and 2 hours. Just have a seat and wait. I mean, that happens in healthcare. Now, listen, we don't want it to happen at OrthoSouth. We work hard, but it does happen. And so that's not okay. It's not okay for us for patients not to get called back quickly. All of those things we've really built into OrthoSouth to try to address, and we think there's an opportunity. So I think there's a lot of upside in bringing real customer service to healthcare.
All right, I want to talk about that, but let's put that on pause for just a second.
Yeah.
Let's back up. I want y'all to give us a brief overview of yourself and just how you ended up in this role. Melissa, do you want to kick us off?
Sure. So Melissa Kandel. I have a background in, I'm a jack of all trades, or I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but worked with this gentleman here in a different industry several years ago after being in Memphis and having a background as a paralegal and in law firms. And then we had another opportunity to work together again over here at OrthoSouth. And I think you called me and had to try really hard to get me to come over. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm used to be in more of an operational capacity in my former career. So getting to jump over into marketing and learn about really what marketing is relationship building. And a lot of it goes back to what we talk about at OrthoSouth generally, which is making promises to our customers about how we're going to treat them, telling them what their experience is going to be like, and then making sure that we deliver on it. So it's actually a really easy job because we have such a good team making it right internally all the time.
Mm-hmm. Kim?
Yeah, listen, I begged Melissa to join us, is what happened. And I think on the phone call it was, we're not hanging up until you say yes. And it was a long call. So, but she's incredibly gifted and done a great job for us, really bringing our marketing to an incredible level. My background, so I've been at OrthoSouth for, I guess, 9 years. Prior to this role, healthcare services is not my background. I'm a lawyer by training, but overcame that many years ago.
Don't hold it against him.
Don't hold it against me, please. Prior to this, I helped start a company that developed a system for MRI-guided brain surgery, and I ran that. I was CEO of that company for 10 years or so, and we took it public and moved it to California, and I was flying back and forth. I didn't look at a map. It's a long way from Memphis to California, so after a while, I hired my replacement there and have been here since.
That's awesome.
And maybe you can give us like a little bit of background, like a little overview of OrthoSouth, just kind of,
please.
We haven't talked about that yet.
Yeah. So this is something that is kind of from the ground up, what OrthoSouth is and what our mission is. Our goal is to be the best orthopedic group in the United States based on patient experience. And patient experience is, of course, how patients are treated, what they feel going into the interaction and what they feel leaving the interaction. So we do orthopedics. That's what we do. But who we are is an experience engine, and we make people better, and hopefully give them a great time, a great experience, a very positive experience, empathetic and warm and friendly, all the way from the beginning of their interaction to us to the very end, when hopefully they don't have to come and see us again.
Right.
Yeah, and so we were 9 locations, actually soon to be 10 locations, if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, so we've got some news to break today.
Please tell me.
After a long time, we've been looking for the perfect spot in Collierville. We have found it. We will be opening our Collierville location, which will be number 10, in September.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
September 14. We're super excited about it.
That
Collierville's
is-
a great place.
that is so
I actually
soon.
grew up in Collierville, so it's great.
Awesome.
But it's full service orthopedics. Again, 9 locations, and orthopedics and spine. We have surgery centers and advanced imaging and that sort of thing.
Physical therapy.
Physical therapy, absolutely. Thank you. To back up a half step, so our mission statement to be the best orthopedic practice in the United States measured by the patient experience. It's not a plaque. We live it every day because that's the only way you can deliver it. And Taylor, and it was fun because we started down this path, 8-9 years ago, and thinking, how would we implement this? How do you do great customer service? And so we thought, let's talk to somebody that's really good at it. So we interviewed a few different places. Chick-fil-A has a school, and Ritz-Carlton has a school, and Disney. And we decided to go with Ritz-Carlton. And the reason we went with Ritz-Carlton, this is the coolest thing. So we're talking to these different companies that do this. And Ritz-Carlton, there was one sentence in the Ritz-Carlton material that's like, these are our guys. And that one sentence was that their goal for their customers is to meet their unexpressed wish. Not the expressed wish, the unexpressed wish. And that is game-changing because what it means is we all are playing offense. We're all supposed to be thinking, all 550 of us, we're all supposed to be thinking every hour of every day, every interaction we have with any customer, any patient, say, what is it that we know she's here because she twisted her ankle, but what can we do for her that she's not telling us, right? There's a great story, if you don't mind. Can I tell you?
Please.
So this is a Ritz-Carlton story, which is true. So there's a young couple that flies down, decides they want to take a long weekend at the beach with their son, like their 4 or 5-year-old son. And so they jump on a plane, fly down, have this great experience. They're on their way back Sunday afternoon. And as they get on the plane, they look down and realize that their son does not have Tex, his bear, right? So Melissa's got kids. This is DEFCON 1, right? You're like,
It's urgent.
it's
Yeah.
urgent. You're like, oh my gosh, and I have 2 kids, they're both grown, but went through the same thing, And so they get to their destination, they get back, and the dad calls the Ritz-Carlton and says, listen, it's a huge property, and I'm just, there's no way you're going to find it, but we lost this bear, and if you find it, just let me know, whatever. So a few hours later, the dad gets an email, and on the email are a set of pictures, and it says, please read this and show this to your son. And the first picture is the bear sitting by the pool. And the next picture is the bear with like the cucumbers on his eyes in the spa. The next one is the bear in front of an ice cream sundae. And at the bottom it says, hey, Billy, hey, Billy, I was having so much fun, I decided to stay another day. I'm going to be on a plane. I'll be back in a couple of days. Now that's customer service.
How cute.
That's meeting the unexpressed wish of that couple. And you think that couple ever went anywhere else? You know what I'm saying? And
I wouldn't.
And, when you talk about back to healthcare, so for Chick-fil-A, that's incredible. Their customer service is amazing, But at the end of a Chick-fil-A experience, you end up with a fantastic chicken sandwich, right? When you finish an experience with OrthoSouth, hopefully we've given you the opportunity to get back and play tennis or to run or to walk with your grandkids or whatever it may be that you couldn't do before. And you come in and you may be scared, you may be anxious, you may be in pain. And so there's this huge opportunity to deliver customer service, empathy, really feeling for folks in healthcare that we think is really fantastic and it's fun.
That's awesome. What would you say on the day-to-day sets OrthoSouth apart from other healthcare organizations in terms of customer service? What is it that y'all do every day, like an action step?
Well, first of all, the orthopedics in Memphis is fantastic. We've got a great community, and Kimball Clinic is our largest competitor, and they're fantastic at what they do. And so we're really proud to be in the same market with them. They're amazing. That said, what we try to do, our goal is, again, it's everything matters is really one of our core concepts. What that means is when you walk in, everything's got to be clean, the bathroom's got to be neat, everybody's got to be friendly, you look people in the eye, you use their name if you can. It's a million details. Everything matters. Ritz-Carlton talks about having 5 senses. You walk into an OrthoSouth clinic with 5 senses, all of them going all the time. We don't need noise. We don't want funny smells. We don't. So I would say that's a key piece. We really focus hard on the everything matters front. What would you say?
I would say one of our biggest focuses is also our patients' time, our guests' time. We spend a lot of effort, a lot of time focusing on how we can make sure that we're respecting the time that people have. Life is busy. Everyone's got something they'd rather do than spend in a doctor's office. But at the same time, we don't want to diminish the time that you get to spend with your provider. So our operations team, I would say, does a tremendous job of finding ways to make your visit, all of that time around your visit from beginning to end that isn't with a provider, as short and efficient and as minimal as possible, so that we can optimize your entire visit. You get more time with your provider, more time to ask the questions and to have that, to build that relationship with the person you're working with that matters, and then letting the staff and the support team really kind of do everything we can to make sure that all of the time in the wait room, or the time that you're waiting before you can even get into your appointment, and the time that you're waiting in the exam room, all of that gets minimized.
Yeah, to pick up, that's a great point. If I'm asking you to wait, no matter what the reason, what's implied by that is my time's more valuable than yours, and that's not what we think. The patient's time is more valuable than ours. That's a rule for us. And so, as Melissa said, we want to compress everything that's not the time with the doctor, the patient and the doctor. We want to compress that as small as possible so that time can be relaxed and slow, and the doctor can take, if it's 5 minutes, if he needs to take 30 minutes, however long it is, that has got room to breathe and time to really be natural. Everything else needs to be quick. Now, another thing that you have to do and this is what'll be fun to talk about other businesses, talk with us about other businesses, but for us, you measure what matters. Mm-hmm. And so we measure door-to-door times and wait times, every patient,
You took
every
my next
encounter,
question. Keep going.
every encounter, every single day. And we report that out. And so last month, I don't have last month's data yet. So I'm going to have to do the prior months. Our wait time was 14 minutes and 30-something seconds, right? That's a little longer than I'd like, but it's okay. And a lot of people are less than that, but the average 14 minutes and something. The average door-to-door time was 50 minutes, 54 minutes, 55 minutes, somewhere right in there. Sorry, I can't recall it exactly off the top of my head. And we think that's good because the world moves in 30-minute and hour increments.
Right.
We don't want a visit to be 30 minutes long. That's too short, just because, again, the doctor is going to spend time with you. An hour is perfect time, but people need to, they leave work, they come, they see us, they get back. We want them to be able to get everything done within an hour.
I mean, healthcare is so important on so many different levels. When you think about healthcare for yourself and taking care of yourself, it's important that you take the necessary steps to get well and to be able to live your life and, keep doing the things that you got to do, like working, hanging out with your family, doing the hobbies that you enjoy. And so, time is valuable, but it matters that patients have the opportunity to get well and have the expertise that y'all's doctors bring without feeling like, man, I got to get out of here. They've already wasted all my time on the front end. Or, they're rushing me out of here and I didn't get a chance to talk about this problem. And that kind of goes back to what you were saying about meeting the
unexpressed wish.
The unexpressed wish. I'm sure many people have had this experience where you go to the doctor for an annual checkup or the dentist, and they ask you, anything else bothering you? Anything else you need help with? And you're like, no. And then a week later, you're like, oh man, I should have told them about my knee.
Yeah.
Should have told them.
You got to give them time. You got to give people time to kind of work through this. Yeah. And to just have a conversation with us,
Yeah.
Now, one thing we didn't talk about, but I certainly need to mention, is we of course must deliver world-class care.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a given. Like our goal is to match world-class orthopedics with world-class customer service. That's what we're trying to accomplish. So, it's interesting. You mentioned something that another point that we think about. So everything matters. The second thing is everything is personal. Everything is personal, and it's just the way human beings are, right? So if you came into our clinic tomorrow afternoon and we had seen 1,000 across all of OrthoSouth, 1,000 patients, and 999 went great, and yours was not great, you don't care. What cares? It's personal. It's you. That's who we've got to deliver for, and so we really focus on keeping that in mind. That if you're at the front desk and you're greeting 30 or 40 different people in a morning, your greeting for number 15 is got to be as great as 1 and as great as 30. And you look people in the eye. One thing we did, sorry for the digression, but we had, when we started this, we had our computers up. They were kind of up like in a lot of, and we're like, wait, no, you can't look people in the eye if the computer's here. So we put the computer screens down, and now I can look you in the eye and say, hey, Taylor Ann, thanks for coming in. That's great. How can we help you? I see your name here, blah, blah, blah.
I love that. Just to repeat what you've said, it's those fine details, that's fine tuning that can make all the difference, can make the world of difference to your experience at across whatever industry. But what you guys are doing is really paying attention to those 5 senses and to the overall experience, which comes down to those minute details, the things that people might not think of when they think of going to a doctor's office or getting a checkup. That's not,
And it's not just the folks who you always expect to see, like, who are patient facing. It's not just the front desk. It's not just the scheduling team or your physician or your physician's team. Every interaction with an organization, with our organization, we hope we work to make it exceptional in every way. And that goes back to the back office. If you're calling just to get your medical records, or you're calling to cancel your appointment, if you're walking in somewhere, everyone who's wearing an OrthoSouth name badge, whether they're in patient accounts, even, should be giving you the most exceptional experience, so that when you can walk away and you can say, it wasn't just, I don't just love my doctor, I don't just love my, the location and how convenient it is, but I really enjoyed my entire relationship with the group.
Yeah, actually, to pick up on that.
Yeah.
So great customer service is a team sport.
Mm.
It is a relay race. And it's really fun when you have a culture that focuses on that. Then when you get handed the baton, you can't drop it. Like, it matters. What I do matters. What everybody does matters. And we tell everybody at OrthoSouth that the physicians are, of course, super important. The surgeons, they got to do their job. But everybody, when it comes to the customer service experience, the patient's experience, everybody's equal. Everybody has to do their job. In fact, when I took this job, I was seeing another doctor outside of orthopedics, and it was completely unrelated. But I'm like, I'm going to kind of pay attention on the customer service experience I have, right? So I call, book the appointment, all good. I go to the waiting room of this place, and there were 2 ladies at the front desk. And the lady on the left was super nice, and the lady on the right was not nice at all, right? And I'm watching. Now, I actually went to the lady on the right. She was not very nice to me, but not horrible, just not very nice. And I'm watching the interaction, thinking, okay, that's all right. That's good. I'm still good. So I go in. The MA was great. The doctor, everything was great. And I was waiting for some test results, right? And the medical assistant, who was super nice, hadn't called me back, right? So I'm like, oh, it's kind of odd. That's all right, though. And so I called her. Or sorry, she called me a couple of days late. I'd left a message. She called me a couple of days late, which was okay. But when she called me, she was really very terse and not very nice. And I hung up the phone, and I told my wife, that screwed up everything. She dropped the baton. That's how fragile it is.
It really
It's
is.
that fragile. But when you do it right, it's a win for all of us. We all feel it.
When you do it right, people are more likely to stay loyal to whatever your service is because they had one good experience that they can't forget. And then they come back and it's also another really great experience. And then after that, they're sold.
And it's great for us, for the staff, for all of us that are delivering. Because here's the thing. So I've got an amazing wife. She just had her birthday yesterday. And, it's just fun randomly to show up with something unexpected. It's that unexpected wish. And when you do that, she likes it, but I think I enjoy it more than she does. It's just a natural human feeling for us to like doing it. And so you mentioned the positive experience that the patient gets, but it's also the same thing for the employees, for all of us. We're like, hey, this felt great.
Loving what you do and the people you're around.
Yeah.
That makes a difference when it comes to a workplace.
Yeah. So we talked about everything matters,
Yes.
right? We talked about everybody matters. Everybody's got to do their part. That everything matters. And we try to bat 1,000, but we don't bat 1,000. That's just reality.
Right.
And another key part, and this is another thing I'm really excited to talk to other people in Memphis about how they handle this, is recovery. We mess up. We make mistakes. How do you fix the bad interaction where we drop the ball?
And that's really what I want to know. I was just thinking about that.
Well, we've got a great process of keeping up with the reviews and the surveys. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure, yeah. We actually have a great review process where each of our divisions and groups kind of owns all of their interactions. It's department based. If we, and thankfully this is pretty rare, but if we get a negative comment, it's not just I rated you 3 stars out of 5. It's if there is a sentiment flagged. I waited too long, but I still gave them, a 5 out of 5 or a 10 out of 10.
Or the front desk person wasn't very friendly.
Or the front desk person wasn't very friendly. The leadership team takes personal responsibility over that and goes through every single review, searching for these opportunities to fix something. And we strive to get that turned around, to make contact with the patient within 2 hours. Do we meet it all the time? We do not, but that is our goal, is to have somebody make contact so that we can let them know we're being proactive about it. Not only do we want to fix this specific issue, but we also look for any trends. Maybe there's something that keeps coming up at one location, and it turns out that there's a chair in the waiting room that we just need to replace. And we only figure that out because we just happened to read through and notice that,
Because someone put on Google reviews.
5 people said that one chair in the back corner, is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, the mentality's got to be that you love bad news. That's got to be it. It's funny, I say it all the time when Melissa and I meet and with other, I'm like, good news takes care of itself. Bad news needs a little help, and we want to run to that. Like none of us bat 1,000, none of us are perfect, we all make mistakes. I make more of them than anybody else at OrthoSouth, but when we make mistakes, it's an opportunity to get better. And Melissa, as Melissa said, our goal is to respond to those negative reviews within 2 hours when they're left. We've had situations where we've actually knocked on people's window in the parking lot. And it's like, hey, we heard we are so sorry. How can we make this right? What do we do? And that feedback loop's really important. And again, it's one thing I'm super interested in finding out about what other companies do, how they get the information, and what the feedback loop is, both in taking care of that one individual where you drop the ball, and then also fixing it across the whole organization. Yeah. So if it's repeated elsewhere, you don't do it.
Change that. I in customer service, you have, if there is an issue, you have to change the organizational culture behind it. Whether that's interpersonal relationships, or it's just a system process that is not as up to date as it needs to be. Whether
Yeah.
it's a software issue that gives somebody a bad experience. Sometimes, there's not a whole lot you can do, but if you're fixing it on the back end,
Yeah.
it's constant improvement and constant
And
making it better.
well, and it's a fun time. AI makes it a fun time to be thinking about this, right? I mean, we're big believers in AI. It's great. There's a lot of positives. Like any powerful technology, it can be used for great good, and it's a bad thing. So we got to be really thoughtful. The people that are in charge of this need to make some great decisions. But for us, as we implement AI, we do not want it to replace any interaction with our patients. Zero. What we want it to do is enhance those interactions. So, for example, in our call center is fantastic. Our call center agents are amazing, just the friendliest folks ever, and do such a good job. We want to put tools in their hands so that all of the mundane stuff they've got to do when somebody calls in, all of the administrative work, that kind of gets done by AI, so they can focus on, hello, Melissa, thanks for calling. They can be very personal, take time with that. And so it's interesting to see because this is across the whole world, I guess, certainly across business. People are saying, gosh, how can we use AI to replace people? That's completely the wrong way to think about AI. How do we use AI to enhance people, to enhance those customer experiences, those personal experiences? And that to me is really exciting.
I like to think about AI in fashion terms. It's an accessory. It's a statement
I like
piece.
that. Yeah.
It's
that, yeah.
something
That's
that
good. Yeah, that's good. That's good.
you bring alongside you, and that changes the game.
Yeah.
I think accessories can make or break an outfit. But it's the thing that really helps you along the way and kind of elevates you and puts you on that next level. And so, despite worries that a lot of people have with AI, if we're using it responsibly and we're using it to just come alongside and boost what we're doing and enhance the work that we're doing, it could really change things for people and how we do things, especially in terms of customer service. Now, our time is quickly coming to a close, but I do have another question that I want to ask before we wrap up. Could you guys give me both an example where you have experienced good customer service, especially if it's here in town?
Go ahead.
Okay, so this is one of my favorite ones, and I'm not ashamed to say I have left a positive review for this one McDonald's like 4 different times. There is a McDonald's located on Primacy Parkway in East Memphis, and I go there a few times a month to get coffee before I go into the office. The lady who runs the drive-thru has to be one of the nicest, friendliest, warmest people I've ever met. She recognizes my voice. I've heard her also across, talking to other folks on the other microphone, and she recognizes everyone who comes through who's a regular. She's always asking how your day is, and she really just brightens up my day. It's this small interaction, but she never has she never has any kind of negative energy. She's always putting out positive energy, and she seems to really take pride in the fact that the way that she interacts with customers is going to have a positive effect on them that day.
And first thing in the morning, a lot of people, that's rough for them. And if you have a bad morning, a lot of times that kind of sets the tone for the rest of your day. But I bet for somebody, maybe even you, that one good interaction changed the trajectory for them, changed how they were feeling about their day.
Multiple times for me, yeah.
Kim, do you got a story?
Yeah, my story was coming up here. So I parked. I walked through the lobby, and there's a gentleman that works at your reception desk or whatever. And I just went right to the elevator, and he's like, and I needed to check in. Mm-hmm. In the friendliest possible voice, looking me right in the eye, gave me this friendly greeting. Hello, sir. I forget exactly how I said it, but it was warm and personal, and I got on the elevator feeling great. And I mean, it's funny that you asked the question now, because that's the first thing that comes to mind.
And I'll tell you something about him. Every morning, every afternoon, every evening, no matter where I'm going, whether it's lunch, to a meeting, coming back and forth. Hi, how are you? It's great to see you today.
Looks you in the eye, big smile.
He's not over there on a computer or a phone and just saying, hey, hope you have a good day. He looks me in that. good morning, how is your day? Or good morning, I hope you have a great day. Every single time, never fails. And when there's a group of us, he's trying to talk to every single one. He is a great example. I'm glad you brought that up. He's a great example.
He's fantastic.
Of customer service.
And actually, it reminds me of the Maya Angelou quote, which is, I guess, sort of consistent with everything we're talking about. People will forget what you did. People forget what you say, but they will never forget how you made them feel.
Yep.
And that guy made me feel great. Fantastic.
I know.
I can't wait to tell. I hope he's down there.
I can't walk in having a bad day because he's right there. Hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Good morning. And before we go, I'll share with you guys.
Yeah. What's
one
yours?
Of my stories.
What's your story?
So this was in college. I went to Porch and Parlor with some friends, and we were kind of celebrating the end of our semester, and we were ready to have a good time. And we walk in, and we were met with a hostess who was excited to see us and said, "Hello, welcome in. I'll get you seated in just a moment." Obviously we had a reservation. We told her our name. She immediately leads us to our seats, and our server, our back servers, the whole team, everybody who we interacted with was happy, was positive.
Yep.
They were on it every single time. Water did not get low. Food that we were done with did not stay on the table. It was, every interaction we had was it was just a good, I was not thinking about anything else.
Now, how long ago was this?
This was 2020.
Exactly.
2021.
It's
It stayed with you.
It stayed with you. Here you are 5-6 years later, you still remember it. Isn't that great? You remember
and it is. And
It made you feel great.
Unfortunately, I don't remember anybody's name from that, but I remember the service I had there. And if it stays true after all this time, that's, those are places that you want to go back to. It's when you have those good interactions.
Yeah.
Kim, Melissa, I do have to wrap up. This has been such a great episode, and I'm very excited for where our next episode is going to take us.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Taylor Ann.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Talk Chamber. We are so glad you're here with us. Today, Kim and Melissa shared about OrthoSouth, customer service, and what's next on The Talk Chamber. We'll be doing a series talking about customer service and why Memphis needs to be a customer service city. If you enjoyed this episode or learned a valuable piece of information, share this episode with a friend, or maybe even a colleague. Subscribe to the Talk Chamber to keep up with the latest on the Chamber, economic development, and all things Memphis. Follow us on social media at Memphis Chamber, and we'll see you next time.